He was halfway across the room when he heard it. A knock. Flat. Alone. He stopped, hand hovering near the poker, and the fire ticking behind him. The sound settled in the room like something with weight. He crossed to the door and he lifted the latch, cold iron under his palm, and pulled. Night air met him straight on. Cold, still air. The street stretched away in both directions, empty, end to end. No footsteps fading, no movement between the stones. Just the terrace rose, door closed, windows dark, holding their side of the night. He stood there and felt the cold settle against his teeth, and he listened. He closed the door, latch dropping back, a soft metallic click. Finally. That was the first time, and it should have ended there. Now there are houses in Calderdale where the quiet doesn't sit in your ears. It settles lower, in your feet, in the boards beneath you, and in the air against your face when you stop moving. It's like the house is holding something once you've stepped into the middle of it. This was a row of terraces just above the valley road. Stone walls pressed tight, shared chimneys, damp that travelled. You could hear your neighbour turn, hear them cough, and hear the lamp go out. Late 1800s, coal fires low after dark, coats hung by the door, still wet from the walk home, boot prints drying slow on the flags. Sound had nowhere to go except through. He'd come in late that night, collar damp against his neck, his fingers stiff and slow to bend. He pushed the door shut with his shoulder and the room drew in around him. Fire ticking in the grate, the smell of stone and old smoke. That quiet shaping itself into his breathing. And then the knock. The next night, fire lower, air colder near the walls. His body was already listening. The knock came. Same sound, same weight. Through the wood, clean, deliberate, and done. He didn't rise straight away. He let it sit with him. Felt it in his throat and the base of his spine. He opened the door. Stone, dark, stillness. Nothing there. And the third night, his chest tightened before it came. A small pull, low in the ribs. His hand paused mid-reach, and the house settled lower. Then, the knock. He moved fast. Door opened before the sound had gone. The cold air again. Stillness again. Same empty stretch. It moved along the row. One door, then another. Spoken low, passed over the thresholds. A woman mending. Needle halfway through the cloth. Thread pulled tight. The knock came and settled in her wrists. A lodger, lamp just blown out, smell of burnt wick still there, darkness folding in. Then the knock. Close, certain, alone. Each time the door opened, a street lay still, and a house closed again. Until one night, the man who heard it first stayed where he was. The knock sounded. He felt it move through him, spine, chest, fingertips. But he didn't stand. And the weight settled into his legs, like moving would break something. The room pulled tight. Fire gave a faint pop, then a creak. Small, near the door. Weight against the wood. He stayed still, barely breathing. Something was there, on the other side, not moving, not knocking again, just present. Air thickened, a faint ringing in his ears, time stretching, edges softening. Slowly, the pressure eased, the board settled, and the room loosened, and the air moved again. And the house returned, piece by piece. By morning, hands on bootlaces, door open, day begins. The mind finds its reasons. Wood settles, stone cools, sound travels. Things that a man can live with. The knock never came to him again. Others heard it, years apart. Different doors, same sound, one knock. Those who opened, they found the night waiting, empty and still. Those that stayed felt something linger just beyond the wood, breathing and listening, waiting to see what you would choose to do with it. Up in Calderdale, terraces holding each other along the hill, there are still houses where the quiet doesn't settle into the boards before anything is heard. So if something comes to the door, marks itself with a single knock, you may feel, before you decide, that the house is already holding its breath. That's Giles, signing off. So if you're standing there, hand on the cold iron, feeling the quiet pressing in, and something already made itself known, you might leave the door exactly where it is.